GuitarLessons.com, the #1 name in guitar lessons online.
In this lesson, we're going to be going over some of the fundamentals that you need to know about for the right hand, for your picking hand. And I guess the first thing you should know or be aware of is how to pick out a pick. There's lots of different kinds of picks, different thicknesses, different sizes, different shapes, and it goes all the way from very thin picks that are real pliable all the way to very rigid picks that you can play a lot faster with. So let's take a look at some of those to start out with. And there's really no hard and fast rule for what kind of pick you should use. Just experiment with each kind and find something that you like that works for you and that works for the style of music that you want to play. So let's take a look at a few of them. This pick right here is a bit thicker of a pick. It's made of nylon, so it's a bit more pliable even though it's thick. And let's take a look at another one here. This one's a standard medium pick. It's a little bit more rigid because of the kind of plastic it's made of. And the pick I use, that I like to use, is it's like a medium to a thick pick, and it's a bit more rigid, so if you want to play faster, you can do that, and that holds up a little bit better for fast playing. So, go to your local music store, get an assortment of picks, thin, medium, heavy, mess with all of them, and see which one suits you best and go from there. So, let's talk about our right hand. First thing you're going to need to learn how to do is hold the pick. Just take your hand, stick it out, curl your index finger around just like this. Place the pick on the pad of your index finger right there to where a bit of the pick is sticking out. Not a whole lot like this, but to where just a bit of it is sticking out. Take your thumb, come right down on top of it just like that and pinch it. And you want to hold on to it firmly so it doesn't slip out of your hand when you play, but you want to be relaxed at the same time so you don't get cramps or cause tendonitis or muscle damage or anything like that. So hold on to it hard enough to where you can strum or play and you make noise on the string, but not so hard that you're tense. You don't want to have any tension in your right hand when you're playing. So after we have the pick and we know how to hold it, what you're going to do is you're going to come, let's start on our 6th string, our E string. Take the pick, place it on the E string, just the tip, angle it down a bit, not flat like that, but down a bit, and just push through the string. Now you're going to come back up, doing the exact same thing. Just pull up, using just the tip of the string, just enough to make noise on the guitar. Make sure you're relaxed. So, with that in mind, just give that a go a couple of times. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, and there's a couple of things you'll need to notice about my right hand when I'm doing that. The first thing you want to notice is that I'm not getting a lot of motion from my elbow, like that. And I'm not getting a lot of motion from my fingers like this, like that. Most of my motion is coming from my wrist. And I'm putting just enough pick on the string just to glaze over it, not a whole lot of it, like not using a lot of the pick to get it. And another thing you want to be aware of, the next thing you want to be aware of, is that I'm only pushing the pick far enough past the string to make noise. I'm not going down far one way or the other. This will help you when you get to start learning to play scales and faster things and a little bit more complex things. If you use just enough motion to go past the string, that'll really help you out in the economy of motion of your playing. So now let's learn an exercise for our right hand that involves just our right hand. All we're going to do is worry about our picking. We're not going to worry about our left hand at all. What we're going to do is you're going to start on your low E string, pick down, up, down. Go to the next string, pick up, down, up. Go to the next string over, down, up, down. Go to the next string over, your G string, your 3rd string, pick up, down, up. Go to your B string, down, up, down. Then the last string, the high E string, you're going to go up, down, up. Okay, so all together, you're just gonna go through each string and hit it 3 times each. Always using alternate picking, always down, up, and so on. So that's the whole exercise. It may seem a little boring at first, and frankly it kind of is, but it's a good way to get your right hand going, and you won't have to do it for very long. Once you get really familiar with how to use your right hand and your picking hand, you won't have to do this exercise anymore. You'll just be using that technique with scales and leads and stuff like that. So let's learn now how to strum our guitar. And basically, all you're going to do is take your right hand, grip your pick the exact same way, come to your E string, your low E string, and just push down through all 6 strings instead of just the 1 string. And you're going to come back up doing the exact same thing. So together you have. So one thing you want to remember, a really good, I guess, analogy for how to strum with your right hand is this right here. I heard this from a really famous guitarist one time when I saw him doing a clinic. He said, pretend like you have some honey on your pinky finger and you got a feather on it and you're just trying to shake it off. It's a really good technique for your right hand. It's really relaxed and you get a good sound from it. Something like this. So if I'm strumming an E chord and using that mentality and that technique, it'll sound like this. So take that and work on it with some songs you have. If you just want to grab an E chord, and if you want to work on just the exercise we were talking about earlier, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That'll get you started on a really good road to having really good right hand technique.